Have you been planning on buying a house, but now not sure if you should go ahead with your plans or wait? Let's take a look at that. Let's say you're renting a property right now and your rent is $2,000 a month. Over the next 24 months, you're going to spend $48,000 on rent. And if you have renter's insurance, that could be another $1,000 on top of that $48,000. But you've been making plans to buy a house. You have money saved up for all of your closing costs and your down payment, but you're not sure with the higher interest rates and with the amount that properties are appreciating in their value if it makes sense now. Well, let's take a look at a $400,000 house that you're considering buying right now in 2022. If you were to purchase that property right now at 6% interest, which today may be a little high, or it may be the actual interest rate right now. At the time this recording is being made, interest rates are fluctuating around 5.5%, but they've been as high as 6%. So let's say it's a 6% interest. Your payment is going to be just under $3,000, $2,973. Now that sounds like a lot, but let's take a look at that payment. That payment consists of 5 different parts. You might see it sometime as PITI, and there's an extra that goes with it, and I'll explain that. But the first one is the P. That's the principal. You're going to have spent $9,823 on gaining equity back in the property. That's almost $10,000 over 24 months that pays off $10,000 of the mortgage, putting equity back in the home. You're going to have $46,000 in interest, and I know that's a lot, but interest is higher early in the loan. You're going to have roughly $5,000 in taxes if that's $2,500 a year. If your insurance is $2,000 a year, that's going to be $4,000. And I mentioned that extra thing. That was the PITI. Now this extra is PMI. And on a conventional loan, if you don't pay down more than 20%, you're going to pay this private mortgage insurance. It's what the lender has that insures them, protects them against the 20% in case you default on the loan. They know they can sell it for 80%, cut their losses, but you're going to pay that PMI for 6 or 7 years at least until the value of the property gets more than 80% of what the loan is. That's going to be another $6,500 over a 24-month period. Sometimes that's what prices people out of being able to buy a home is this PMI, because they don't have 20% down. They're going to have 3% down. But if you've purchased this property, you're going to spend $71,352 making 24 monthly payments. That's if you were to purchase that property today. So let's compare it to what it looks like to rent. If you were to buy a house over the next 24 months, you're going to spend $71,000 in monthly payments. If you're to rent a house, you're going to spend $49,000 in monthly payments and the additional renter's insurance. Now, what that means is if you buy a house, you're going to spend $22,352 more than if you rent one. Now, that sounds like a lot of money. That's almost $1,000 a month extra that you're going to be out if you buy versus rent. But if you're renting, you're building that equity for somebody else. But let's look at what you're actually gaining from it if you were to buy a property right now. If you were to buy that property right now at the $400,000, you're going to gain the appreciation over the next 2 years. So let's say that this house in 2022 is worth $400,000. And if we have a 5% appreciation rate next year, over the next 12 months, that house a year from now would be worth $420,000. We're currently at about an 8%. The last few years, it's been double digits. But if we go back to just a 5% increase in the next 12 months, that's going to be $420,000. And another 12 months after that, so 24 months from now, it appreciated 5% in the first 12 months. It appreciated 5% in the second 12 months. That means that that $400,000 house that you purchase now, 24 months from now, could be worth $441,000 just for you doing nothing but owning it and just for it being there. That's what the appreciation is. And a normal appreciation before COVID was a 3 to 5% appreciation rate. Like I said, we've seen double digits the last few years. So if you were to buy that house now and you were In 2 years, you would see a $41,000 appreciation in value of it. and you've paid almost $10,000 toward the equity in the home, getting the principal down, your equity is now $50,000, $50,823. But you spent $22,000 in cash over buying a house versus renting a house. You've still had a net increase. Your net values increased almost $29,000, $28,471. That's you've seen a net increase in your net worth over owning a home versus purchasing that home. But you're going to say, hey Jeff, but I've got to spend some money to buy that house up front. Yeah, I know what my monthly payments are, but I have to have closing costs. You're right. If you were to put 3% down on this $400,000 house and you had additional closing costs and prepaids, the attorneys that are going to be involved, the prepaid for home insurance, for taxes, just the different costs involved, your lender would tell you if you're ready to buy a house now that you need to be prepared to have about $23,500 in cash in the bank to bring to close, down payment, closing costs, prepaids. So if you're looking at that and you're looking at $12,000 of that being a down payment, so your net worth increased $18,119. If you were to buy that house today, you have the potential to earn 19.75% annual return on your money. How did I get that? Well, buying the house today means that over the next 2 years, you would have invested almost $95,000 in that house between monthly payments, closing costs, and down payment. During that same time period, if you continued to rent for $2,000 a month, you would have spent about $49,000. The difference is $45,872. For that amount of money that you've invested, you would have received an additional $18,119 toward your net worth. That's a 19.75% annual return on your money. You're still not sure if you should buy now or wait? It's entirely up to you. I just wanted to share with you the real truth behind buying a house now versus waiting. You might think house prices are going to go down. That $400,000 house in 2 years is not going to be worth for $380,000. Yes, that may happen for some, but as a whole, that's not going to happen. It may not be 441, but it may be 430. It also could be 450. But it's not going to be $400,000 in 2 years. It's going to be more than that. So if you wait just to get a lower interest rate, you're going to lose out on building that equity. Because if you buy it now and rates go down to 4 or 4.5% and you refinance in 2 years, you're still in your home. You've still taken advantage of this equity. Because if you wait and buy this house in 2 years, your starting point is going to be $441,000. That's what you're going to start with. Here you start with $400,000, you refinance in a couple of years, and you're in your home. If you're looking to buy a home right now, make sure you have a reputable real estate agent helping you. I'd be glad to if you don't have one, and a trustworthy lender that's going to help you look at all of the facts to make the best decision that you can make for your housing needs and for your net worth. I'm Jeff Jones with eXp Realty. Visit meetjeffnow.com to discover how I can simplify the house selling and buying process for you. Have a blessed day.